All right, everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Captain Crush. I'll be your host for the next 15 or so minutes. My goal here is to turn you into a winning fantasy sports player via PrizePicks, Thrive Fantasy, Underdog Fantasy, DraftKings, FanDuel, you name it, I will cover it. If you're new here, let me know in the comments. If you're a tried and true soldier, also give me a salute. That being said, we're going to go straight to DraftKings right now, and this is what we got. We got the one game. We got everyone going back to Miami. We got the Heat +3 at home. I can't tell you how scary that line is. They were just +9, then they went to +8 the game before. Now they're at +3, okay? They're at home. I don't know what to do here. Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't know what to do here. So for me, I'm going to fade this. I'm probably just going to take under 210 if I take anything, but the hometown in me wants to take +3 Miami Heat. I feel like that would be the most profitable line long term, but can Boston make history? If Boston wins this game, they get to go back to all the way to Boston into the TD Ameritrade Garden. And guess what? Game 7, I'll put my chips on Tatum in that scenario. I will go against Jimmy Butler in a Game 7 in Boston. So Miami, you better get this done tonight, because if not, it's going to be all she wrote while Boston makes history on your dime. You don't want that. We don't want that. So I gave you my little breakdown there. Buyer beware, seller beware. We're going straight to PrizePicks today. No game, all right? First out of the gate, I got a little bit of MLB for you here because I'm a man of the people. Jamison Taylor, more 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. Charlie Morton, more 6.5 pitcher strikeouts. And Chase Anderson, this is my least favorite of all. So if you put this in your contest and it chalk, the cap doesn't want to hear your tears, because I'm telling you right now, this is a dice roll. However, it is still a 54% chance to hit via the Vegas math. So I included it here because that is what I do. Give you guys the tools, and then it's on you guys to choose what to do with. So you could take that. Going over to my notepad real quick, and as you can see right here, I got it right here for you guys. Anderson, 54% chance to hit. Jamison, 53% chance to hit. And Charlie Morton with 6.5 Ks is a 53% chance to hit. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now we're going to the king of the road, NBA. We got one game to discuss here. Single game parlays. Is there anything more tilting in this life than a single game parlay that still only pays 10x on a pick 5? Can you get with me? Can I get an amen from the church? There is a reason DraftKings and FanDuel pay out so much equity on these same game parlays. Why? Because they're so hard to hit. Anything, any number of things can go wrong. Injuries, overtime, blowouts, you name it, it can happen. Murphy's Law. But we're stuck on PrizePicks. We got state legality issues. So we have to just bob and weave, adapt, adjust, and we don't cry about it. We will find value. So here we go. We got the fantasy scores. I got my notepad pulled up for you guys. Jason Tatum, 1.42 fantasy points per minute with a 32% use. Jaylen Brown, 1.21 fantasy points per minute with a 31% usage rate. If you're wondering around, Captain, what is a usage rate? It's how many times the ball is in their hands quantified to a number. That is the only way we can get an accurate description of how many times they're going to be touching the ball. Malcolm Brogdon, he's off the board. He's probably not playing. Marcus Smart, 0.89 fantasy points per minute, 17% usage rate. Probably not going to go to Al Horford. And the man, the most popular play of all, Derek White, 0.93 fantasy points per minute with a 17% usage rate. You best believe that over the last 3 games, this usage rate has probably spiked to 22%. I could take the time and go find out and prove myself right, but I'm not even going to need to do it because I've been watching the games and I already know that he's had the ball in his hands more. No Brogdon, he's been starting. They got rid of that 2 big lineup that wasn't working. Derek White's been playing more minutes, and his usage rate in turn has been going up. He balled last game like he was Michael Jordan. It was disgusting. The guy couldn't miss. And because of that fact, everyone and their brother/sister, whichever have you, is on him tonight. His fantasy score last night when I posted at 4 a.m., the captain was up at 4 a.m. last night grinding away for the Dub Club members, posting plays. You better believe it. He was at around 22.5 fantasy points or 23.5 fantasy points, and he started at an even 22. Then he went to 23. Then he went to 23.5. And now, as sure as I'm sitting here, just as sure as the grass is green right outside my house, he's all the way at 25. So now that tells me one thing. The money has moved in on that overside, which means that now, as much as I like him, as much as the captain likes him, and I really do, I might just fade this prop. I'm not really sure what to do here. I got him already in. I told all my soldiers to go to him. They got it in early. But now at 25, it's still a good play. Don't get me wrong. But at 25, do you know how tilted I would be if he gets 24.5 fantasy points? And because they bumped it up that extra half of a fantasy point, he doesn't cover if I triple down on him right here. Yeah, you better believe it would make me lose my mind, because that is what would happen. So I won't advocate it too much. I'm just throwing that out there. Derek White, he's the most popular play in the whole community. Check Twitter, check PrizePicks Millie Slip. He's probably going to be on there. This is the most popular play that I know of. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you will know that I say fade the public. But here, I'm not going to say fade the public. I'm just going to tell you, I just broke down and gave you my analysis on him. I will leave it to you guys to make your decision with Derek. I've said all I can say about Derek White. If you don't want to take his fantasy score and you want to go to his 13.5 real points, I don't mind going there. Maybe even take a look at his points, rebounds, or something like that. PRA. I'm not sure, guys. I honestly just think the move is either the point or the fantasy score. I'm just glad that I got it in early. Now, going back off my soapbox, and I'm going back to the fantasy scores. Jimmy Buckets, 1.27 fantasy points per minute with a 25% usage. Bam Adebayo, 1.15 fantasy points per minute, 25% usage rate. We will take a second here to discuss Bam Adebayo. Okay, Bam Adebayo was at 8.5 rebounds early this morning. Okay, at 8.5 rebounds, the more was signaling on every model I use to take more. Now he's at 9. Now he needs 10. So I'm giving this to you guys as a heads up play. Last game, he only got 8. Granted, it was a kind of a blowout, but he did play his full allotment of minutes. I am not sure why my model has him going for 10 rebounds. I said this last time I talked about Bam. I'm not sure why Vegas favors the more on 8.5. That is why I took it at 8.5, because I'm like, well, if he gets 9, my model likes it, Vegas likes it, and I'm just going to go with the math. But now that it's at 9, I will advocate to take less, because check this out. He had got 8 last game, 5 the game before that, 3 the game before that. He had an outlier game on May 19th where he had 17 rebounds, and then May 17th, he only had 8. Now he's going to need 10 to beat us. If there's anything that I like about this, it's the trend going down. And I think that the books and everyone else is overcompensating for that one single game that he had where he had 17 rebounds, that outlier game, and now the rebound prop is inflated. So I'm just telling you guys right now, at 8.5, I took more. So I could honestly see him getting 9. But at 9, I'm going to tell you to take less. It's that simple, because now 9 is a push and he needs to get 10. So if he gets 10 and he sells you, I gave you my 2 cents on it, but I will be doubling down in a different way and taking less on here, because I can still win both bets. Because if he gets 9, I win my 8.5, and if I have less on 9, then he pushes. So I like both sides of it here. That is my 2 cents on that. But I digress. I'm getting off topic here. I only wanted to discuss fantasy scores today, but I'm going back to my roots. Let's go back here. Kyle Lowry, he's off the board. I don't even think he's on here. Yeah, they just have Kyle Lowry's free throws made, and I ain't going there. Max Struss, 0.74 fantasy points per minute, 17% usage rate. Gabe Vincent, this is the latest on Gabe Vincent, and this is very important. Underdog Fantasy, the only news source that I trust, they literally said he participated in shoot around. Is he going to play? I don't know. Do you? Maybe. Who knows? It's a toss-up. Vegas will make the call. The coach will make the call. We will wait and see. But for now, he's off the board. Kevin Love, 1.01 fantasy points per minute, 19% usage rate. I'm not going there. Guys, I'm keeping it real simple today. It's going to be Bam, Buckets, Struss, and Martin. Okay, everybody's favorite Caleb Martin. You better believe that he's going to be the second most inflated prop on the board, and he's going to be the second most loved by the community today, because everyone and their brother is going to do this right here. Okay, check this out. Oh my God, Captain, he's all green. May 25th, 14, May 23rd, 16, May 21st, 18th, May 19th, 25th, and then a 15. The guy's been crushing it with or without Gabe Vincent. So you know what? What does Captain always say? We will ride that train till we get forced off. If you want to take more 13.5 points, I like it. If you want to take his fantasy score, I don't like it as much, but I'm not going to talk you off of it. If you want to go there, you can, especially if Gabe Vincent is going to be a little bit injured, then, you can take it. But I would stick to the points personally. I think that's a more safe play. There's nothing safe about any of this. We're gambling. Side note. But if you want to go there, you can. I've gave you my little speech on that. Now let's get back to the fantasy scores and discuss what I love. Okay? Jimmy Buckets, 51 fantasy points at home. closeout game. They don't want to go back to the Boston Garden. I'm telling you right now, if they win this game, my gut is telling me it's going to be because Himmy Butler, Jordan's illegitimate son, stepped up and he crushed. Now, that's just my 2 cents, one man's opinion. I could be dead wrong. He could very well go less. The math is telling me to take less, but his points and his fantasy score are probably the 2 biggest things I will target. So if you want to go more here, you can throw them in, but it's always going to be like that. Jaylen Brown, 36.5 fantasy points. Guys and girls, he's 34 fantasy points on Underdog. Over there, I took more. Over here, when he's at 36.5, he was at a flat 36. I liked more. That extra half a fantasy point is now fade the prop. I'll go elsewhere. I just don't like that extra bump. He's been riding the train the opposite direction. He's due a breakout game any single day now. I mean, this is it. If he doesn't have a breakout game tonight, most likely they'll probably lose. If they win tonight, it's going to be because the Tatum and Brown duo finally get back on track and get something going. If you want to take more here and take the bumped line, you can. For me, I'm just going to stay away. Now we have Tatum. His line on Underdog is all the way at 54. We get it at 52 here. They score the same way. If you have a gut call here and you think that it's going to be Tatum playing his heart out, you can go. But I will do you this courtesy while I'm live. So this is why you guys are here. You want the meat and the potato. Last game, Jason Tatum played 41 minutes. The game before, 42 minutes. The game before that, blowout, 33 minutes, 42. So we can safely assume that Jason Tatum is going to play 40 to 42 minutes unless there's a blowout, which is unlikely. It's a 3-point spread. It's facing an elimination game. It's most likely going to be a competitive juggernaut defensive stinker. So we are going to our handy dandy calculator on Google. It's free of charge. Everyone gets this. 1.42 times 40. What do we get? We get 56.8 fantasy points. So you can go back here and you can see, wow, Tatum's at 52.5. So you'd want to take more. It's that simple. It's just a math play. If he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there, but you made the right decision via the math, and that's all that matters. Everything else, your own opinion on Tatum, the last 5, nothing, none of it matters. I'm not interested in, okay? So I discussed the 2 studs. You can't go wrong there. They're the studs. Marcus Smart, 28.5 fantasy points. No Brogdon. I will take Smart over. I had him last game. Look at this. Even though I don't value this much, but you can see the trend. He's been level, and then without Brogdon, he's been having to do way more. Him and Derek White for that matter. So I'll continue to take more on Marcus Smart. It's uncomfortable. I hate it. This man has been known to disappear first half and then come out second half and then do the Uno reverse and do vice versa. Again, that's just one man's opinion. I will leave it to you to make the decision. Max Struss, 18.5 fantasy score. The math says take less. But guess what? Max Struss is another one of those guys that can come out here and just completely torch your contest, okay? If you're going to take Max Struss, look, I typed in Struss and it auto-corrected to stress. Is that a coincidence? I think not. Here we are at Max Struss, 11 points. Check this out. It was at 11.5. Now it's at a flat 11, okay? Trending all the way down in a perfectly graph of trending down. This is beautiful to see. He was at 15, then he went to 11, then 10, then 9. Then last game, he went all the way to 3. Now, he's one of the most streaky shooters on the team. He can get it done at any time, but I'm going to continue to ride that train. I wish it was at 11.5, but it's at 11. But again, I'm talking fantasy scores here. So if you want to go ahead and take his less on fantasy score, that would be the move. Just know that whenever you take less on a guy like Max Struss, who can come out there and bury 3 threes in the first quarter, you're gambling, okay? Bam Adebayo, 34.5. Math says take less, but I'm just staying away. I like his rebounds. Caleb Martin, I already discussed these 2. These are the 2 community darlings. Derek White and Caleb Martin, the Wombo combo, if you will. 24 and 25. If you want to go like this, it's fine. Both have been bumped up. I got it in early. Dub Club members got it in early, but it's on you to choose what you want to do, okay? So I've covered the fantasy side of things pretty much. I want to go over to the WNBA real quick, and let's break this down real quick because we do have a decent game tonight, and I want to talk about this for 1 second. The Las Vegas Aces. Some of you guys are sleeping on the WNBA, and it just started, so there's not a lot of data points yet, but if you think you're going to be sitting through all summer and living off MLB and PGA, I'm telling you right now, you best get on the WNBA train because that is where you're going to make your money, and that is where you're going to be able to get your fix. Because if you think that you're going to be able to just sit there and sweat MLB, I'm telling you right now, the NBA, when it goes away, you're going to be sad, and this is going to be your fix up until September when NFL and college make their big return. All right. So Jackie Young, 33.5 fantasy score. I like her, and I also like Aja Wilson because she's the best at what she does. My only fear would be a blowout, but I wanted to cover this one lady here, Jackie Young, take more on her fantasy score, and then assist-wise, I'm going to keep going with Chelsea Gray. She was 5.5 last time. She got 8. Now she's all the way at 6. She needs 7. I'll still take more here and ride that train until she costs me the bag. So for now, these are my 2 favorites that I like for WNBA, and I'm going to go over here to the esports section to give a quick shout out. Both of these are tacos, discounts, whatever you want to call them. 20% off, 19% off. I already used them in 2. I have one where it's 5 of 6. This one completes it. It'll be a 2x and another 2-man, which will be a 3x. That being said, anytime you get a discount projection, I don't care if it's in Call of Duty, just like this is. Well, Captain, I don't know anything about Call of Duty. You think I do? I don't know anything about Call of Duty other than the fact that I can get on those sticks and stick it to you and work you, but I don't know about the esports side of it, but maybe I should. And for that reason, I am growing an esports community in my Discord. These guys it's insane. I'm up at 4 in the morning grinding out NBA Dub Club plays, and these guys are literally in the esport eating. They're finding a way to find these stupid map things that they do here and getting these kill counts and stuff. It's insane to me, but they're in there doing it. Yesterday, if you would have been in the Discord yesterday, you would have already cashed. It's that simple. Check this out. This guy, RJM29, RJM, I told you I'd shout you out if you're watching. He's literally single-handedly, him and this other guy are carrying the esports community section of my Discord. $50 to win 150. He had these 2 guys on here. He posted it for everyone to see. Everyone, he's been doing it all since he's been involved in here. And he's been feeding these guys, literally the addicts. He's been feeding them with the esports content, and he's been crushing. And if you're in there, you would have already paid for your Discord membership. And if you want to say anything about, well, it's whatever the case may be, it already pays for itself because I have smart community members like that are in there feeding you guys. I'm fostering a smart community that knows what they're doing. I treat the Discord like a classroom. Every day almost, I'm going to be doing live Discord chats where I go on stage and I discuss and help those guys, bringing them to the elite level that they should be all summer long. So by the time NFL and NBA comes around, they know what they're doing and they can be posting their own content, etc. That is my goal here. Okay, so you've reached the end of the video. I appreciate you coming in. I know today's video is a little bit different. We covered a little bit of sports, but I'm a little delayed. I had technical difficulties. If you made it this far, the captain says to you, I appreciate it. If you like my content, give me a like and subscribe. I do free YouTube content every single day. I also do TikTok live streams, and I also have a dub club if you're interested. It's completely optional, but I will say the people in there know what they're doing. If you're interested in that, CaptainCrush.net, gold package. It's nothing insanely expensive. I've seen many way more high prices. So with all that in mind, I wish you guys well. I hope that we do good tonight. Let's pray that this game is not a stinker and it does what we need it to do, which is be good. The captain says, salute, good luck tonight, and as always, let's crush.